You a business leader who crushes most of your productivity, but you never get to other pieces of it, other specific tasks, and they grow more critical by the day? If so, watch this video. So watch to the end for bonus material on even more techniques, in particular deeper techniques for boosting the effectiveness of what you'll learn in the rest of this video. And my recommended video on how to manage interruptions, which can be a critical variable in terms of staying on task. So for me, the ever more critical things are sort of back office tasks, things I consider non-sexy or not as exciting to do. Daily stuff like, in particular for me, writing and scheduling broadcast emails. So I've done that and took my dopamine swim today already. So it's done just as it should have been. So the important thing is when I do my dopamine swim, as I've just called it, I do it immediately after to entrench that habit. So today we'll cover some immediately actionable solutions to get you started and to learn how to do those actions that you kind of somehow never get to. First of all, you should start by telling yourself the truth. Short of alien abduction, apocalyptic disaster, or severed limbs, you've chosen not to do it, period. It's really something you need to own and realize. You can't do everything, but you can do specific things. And really, most people at every level I have ever met, right up to C-suite executives and other such people, they're just as likely to, as I am, to say, well, I should do this, I know I should do this, and I didn't get to it or I didn't have time. But realistically, you could have time, but you may have to choose to not do something else. So every time that happens, we are really choosing not to do it. So what this really comes down to is you should prioritize. Surprise, surprise. There's no earth-shattering news here, but make that one thing that you are certain you should be doing, that even though you don't want to do it, you think must be done. Make that the one, next, and first thing to do for your day, period, no exceptions, end of story. If you really mean to get it done, you have to prove it with your own actions. So every day or every weekday, choose one thing and only one thing that you must get done by the end of the day, no matter what. And of course, you do that thing first. And first and first and first. So whether this is what you do immediately after you get up, if you work in a home office, or immediately upon arriving at your corporate office, whatever it is, if it's that important and you never get to it, you either have to own it and do it, or admit that you've made the choice not to. So if you can't do it yourself, you really hate it so much that it's just not there for you, outsource it. Shy of that being an impossibility financially, outsource it. It's the easy solution to getting to these things, and in many cases, the most productive and profitable solutions for most people. So disabuse yourself of the delusion that only you can do it. That's a lie 99.99999% of the time. Whatever it is, short of, personal care and grooming and stuff, movie stars have somebody else do that for them too. There are very few things that cannot be outsourced. And if you can't outsource them, it just means you don't have the process for doing that yet. If you disagree with me, I'd be happy to give you a free 37-minute consult to create the starting framework for how you could outsource all or most of said tasks that you are certain are impossible. So for the 0.0000001% that only you can do, suck it up, buttercup. And then just do everything else that I talk about in this video. Nobody can do your push-ups for you. but most people can do most things for you. It can be outsourced. So the next part is simple and common sense and down to earth. Push yourself. Create immediate next actions that are as challenging as possible, yet you can sustain daily and indefinitely until you achieve your goal or your goals associated with that. That doesn't necessarily mean you finish it, which is why you have the next immediate action. It might be the first step in 50, but push yourself to do something at a level where you're striving to do it, but it is sustainable to do every day until you've entrenched that as a habit or achieved the goal that it is designed to achieve. So if these things that you need to push yourself on are not challenging enough, your grit won't grow, and neither will your success at doing that which you are struggling with. So welcome to the bonus content. It was as simple as that. You've got the main body. Now, when it's a struggle, screw the one thing. And yes, I am talking about the book. It was a good book. It's also, depending on your specific situation, but it is also can be terrible advice, because the one thing was about the one thing that if you do it, it will make all other things better. There is no one thing in many circumstances. Essentially, instead, what I'm arguing is you do the next thing, anything that moves you forward instead. Obsessing over that one perfect action for which will make everything that follows easier is you buying into the delusion that there is one ideal action. That is not the reality of real life for most people in almost every circumstance. So essentially, by doing the next thing, or by buying into the idea of one perfect thing, it moves you from doing to planning and analyzing, during which time you're doing exactly nothing towards its real world accomplishment and manifestation. That is, while you're planning to take an action, you are not taking an action during that same time, which is the only thing that brings something into the real world. You can imagine going and exercising 5 days a week, but that will not give you the body of somebody who actually goes and does that thing. So you have to get out of your planning and into the next phase, which is the doing. So by doing the next thing that is viable, the next necessary step, regardless of what it is, without wasting your time pining between the 5 possible things you can do, and just pick one damn thing and do it. First thing in the day, it will get done and you will move forward in the real world, not just in the fantasy of your planning. So the recommended video for today is, or my recommended video for today is, oh, there it is, how to manage interruptions. This is a fundamental key or a fundamental part of getting those critical things done, is knowing how to better manage interruptions in a way that allows you to get back to your core first next thing that you must do, because otherwise you may never get it done. So please share this video with anyone who you think it could help. This has been Crush It Club 263. Your next level starts with your next thing. My name is Tim B. Green. Bye for now.